Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, one and all. Welcome to the Astropub. Welcome to the floor tours of Invictus 2953. Let's get to the bar real quickly. Welcome, everybody. My name is Paul, Berserker01, Batman Shelley, your humble host and space bartender here at the Astropub. Welcome to Invictus. This is a live stream, obviously, where I'm going to be doing the floor tours. I'm going to go onto the floor of the Invictus Hall and look at specific ships and companies and talk about a little bit about the lore, a little bit about what they are, just kind of give you some context for the universe that you're in, because CIG does a terrible job at that. They do a good job of creating the context, but then just don't tell you in game at all for some reason. Let me get some other stuff fixed up real quick. Camera, there we go. Properties. I'm looking a little jaundicey, because the contrast is a little off. There we go. There we go. Grab your popcorn. Awesome. You didn't see your invite. Are you online, Diablos? I don't see you online. Oh, there you are. There you go. We'll get started here shortly. I do gotta do a bit of stuff once we all get into the hall. I have to kind of pull up some of my notes to see what's in the hollow tables, because I know what's on the floor. I just don't know what's in the hollow. I imagine it's the Polaris, not the Polaris and the no, the Polaris is RSI. The Nautilus. The Nautilus and the Vulcan, but I don't know. Yeah, I got you, sorry. How's power grid today? Not a clue. Usually my internet will like to kill me right in the middle of Sunday, but we'll see. Nautilus and Vulcan. Is that actually down there? Because that's good. Then I'm good there. Boop. So the interruption, Paul. Me and the other guy talking about my Bar Citizens location. That's not. You're good. I'm just vibing, taking some time, seeing if anybody else wants an invite. Let me know. I'll start here shortly, probably the next 5 or so minutes. Hey, Bruna. Z2, let me, send me a friend request. Are you Zero Squared or are you somebody else? Mason, I got you. Kepler. Mason. Klepter. I have this brain problem where every time I see a name, I either am like, I'm gonna screw you up, or I'm gonna be like, I'm the only person who knows how to pronounce this properly. Meet your maker. Did you send me a friend request? The Astropub, yes, the Astropub. So I only have, oh, there you go, 02 pilot. I think I got everybody. Cold Iron? Yeah. I never bothered that one, but I also know there's a famously bad movie called Rotor, where the main hero in the bad movie is named Cold Iron. So I know the I know the name. Also, it's used often as a kind of like a stand-in for special magical stuff. So, oh no. I don't think his first name's Mason, though. Hey, Ball, do you think a Vulcan would make a good pit cruise ship? Yes, 100%. Francisco, I got you. You think you saw it on Red Letter Media? Yeah, they covered it. Send me a friend request, Francisco. I don't see you on. Or are you under a different name? Gotcha, Peruna. After this, we're gonna do the lore tour, and then we're gonna try to find the Flysa, since it's a javelin, and it's Aegis Day, so you can see the other ship. I don't see you there, Meet Your Maker. Oh, there we go. It's capital sensitive. Octavian sounds familiar. Yeah, we're already friends. I don't see you online, though. There's Onasura. Yeah, I got you, Rig. I'm not seeing you. Give me a moment. I'm gonna have to shut it down and restart it to be able to see you. But I'm gonna make sure I get the other people first. Like... Meet Your Maker. There we go. Then I'll restart. Sent you an invite there, Meet Your Maker. Gotta love how those Javs and Idrises are still instant selling out. I mean, the Idris was sold out in like 30 minutes, and the Javelin was sold out in 5 minutes. I mean, I get the desire for people to get it. You know, I just don't. I don't have any desire for it myself. So, all right, let me quit and then log back in. I got you, Dash. Yeah, try if you're in game, try to get to ArcCorp. But when I launch, you just go to ArcCorp, and we'll get started when you get there. Yeah, but your cap's like, what is it? It's like a Kraken, don't you? One of them's a Kraken. Is the other a Polaris? 890, 890, yeah. Yeah, I got you, Fizzle. Views. Such invite. Hey, Sir Knight. Low tep, I got you. There, I got you, Octavian. Zombie noises. There we go. $80 is the max crew. That's if you want to put every single person on a station is 80 people. Minimum crew is 12. That's still a lot because you know, 12 is something like in the current 100-person servers is like what? Almost like an eighth of the crew of the server. It's pretty big. Yeah, you missed everything, Blood Tide. We haven't started yet. Yeah, the reality is most javelins will have a crew of 12 to 20 people, with those 12 people being department heads controlling NPCs like gunnery officers or engineering chief engineers or navigation officers or those other things. Yeah, Hammerhead is half of an Idris, of a javelin. But do you really need 7 people on all of those guns? You only really need 5 plus a pilot, so 6. Because that bat gun is garbage. No one uses that bat gun. I mean, technically, you could do a little more. I don't think we'll see. I don't think we'll see a NPC crew hiring when Capitals initially come out. I do think it'll happen shortly after that, though, because it's important to remember that there are really only 2 major pillars left for CIG to really tackle in a kind of a decent state, which is the server meshing, which should allow for things like NPCs to have higher volume in stuff, and the quantum system, which will allow for, you know, that sort of system to function with NPCs as well. So I think the initial goal is server meshing, maybe some more quantum system, you know, towards the end of this year or around 4.0. And then they'll spend an entire year just making 4.0 playable, which will include adding more NPC stuff, but I don't think we're probably 2 years away from having higher brawl NPCs. Minimum 2 years. The rear turret is garbage. You don't. There's no firing arc for that rear turret. It doesn't do well. If they had made the turret like a bottom turret other than the rear turret, like you had the top and the bottom, that bottom turret could still then bring its guns to bear on where it needs to go. But it wouldn't work because it would make the landing gear even taller. Hey, Tumbleweed. Yeah, but who wants to be the player in the back chasing torpedoes? Like, in case a torpedo hits. That's like a once-in-a-lifetime... Or and even if it's more common, that's like one job. They seem to have a lot more verbose logging enabled for this for free fly. I can see errors popping up for ASOP terminals and a lot of more things this week should help with fixing errors for sure. I want to be the player who's alive. If I have to watch Netflix in the meantime, so be it. Well, I think it's a lot more engaging for if you made that back turret a sentry, something that you could use as an automated system rather than a player controlled system. Just like the freelancer's turret needs to be fixed, there's a bunch of other things that need to be little tweaks, but you need to have people who are making ships who can do that sort of thing. All right, let's get started, y'all. I'm going to pop into Discord, and I'll use Discord if need be. But I'm going to keep myself muted for now. I'm going to try to use in-game comms as much as possible, just so we can get those authentic D's Nuts jokes in my videos. Yeah, Sea-Wiz and there's other automated turrets, which makes sense. I mean, we need more of those to function as, what are they called? They're not called Sea-Wizes, they're called, there's a term for them, but I can't remember. Point defense, PDCs, yes. Point defense cannons. You're cutting out quite heavily in comms. I can change myself to being more to just voice activated, so it's a little bit less. But you could hear me, right? All right, I'll send you an invite there, Ghost, or you can join on me. Well, B-Win is 0. I think we may have logged into a... into a 30K server. Yeah, when the second we logged in, I was like, that's weird. All right, once you all get back in, let me know. I got you, Ghost. All right, I'm gonna quit the game and relaunch it just in case. You should all try to do that as well, just because it sometimes can screw up the whole thing. Requesting a party invite? Okay. With that 30K behind us, we should be good, yeah.
Dem biddies.
You're still in the party. It just doesn't show up right now. Thank you for dem biddies. Let's see who that was. No. Unknown Guardian for the 500 biddies. Oh. Yeah, the party exists, but it's invisible. Everyone ready to go? You're relaunching? Okay. What's the largest you ever played in the Star Citizen? This channel's getting pretty big. The largest party I've done is a 50-person party in the past. At menus? Okay. Is anybody else waiting?
You can take away my spaceship. You can take away my space suit. You can even take away my space lasers.
No pew-pews.
But you can never, ever take away my space game.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Dragon Diabolus just resubscribed for 77 months. Who likes to party?
Thank you so much for that. 77 months. God damn, that's a long time. You're a very important pupper, very impressive pisser, very manipulative pedestrian. This is your fault. You're the reason why you're gonna shots and cheers and chat, yell shots and cheers. I'll do this even though we're getting rid of the beers, so. We're waiting for anybody else? With a focus on Squad 42, does that push personalized hangers far into the future? Not that I know of.
C-Note_TTV just got a sub from Z242 Pilot. Z242 Pilot gifted a tier 1 sub to C-Note_TTV.
Thank you so much, Z, for giving that sub to C-Note.
You can take away my spaceship. You can take away my space suit. You can even take away my space lasers. But you can never, ever take away my space game.
Dagram Unlimited just resubscribed for 36 months. Shots and cheers.
Thank you so much for that. Shots and cheers there from Dagram. You're a very important pupper, very impressive pisser, very new pedestrian. This is your fault. You're the reason I'm drinking night. Shots and cheers in chat, y'all. Shots and cheers. And thank you for them biddies. It'll come up here shortly. If you have questions, I may have answers if the chat doesn't want me to dance some more.
Them biddies.
What's the question?
Weapons free, y'all.
It's not a question. That's a statement. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like social anxiety feels like being trapped in another alternate dimensions, and social anxiety alters the perception of reality, yourself, and others. Is it just me, or does it feel? It just feels like that. I think you're in the wrong chat for that, my friend. You probably want to see a counselor for that. It's not a. Not. I couldn't help you with that one.
Drinks all around.
There we go.
Let's party like it's your birthday. Party like it's your birthday. Come on and put your lips together. Blow the candle out. Party like it's your birthday. Party like it's your birthday. I wanna make you feel real special. Put your name in lights. We are gonna party like it's your birthday. Gonna party like it's your birthday. Gonna party like it's your birthday. Blow the candle out.
Victor Khan just got a sub from Reed 1909. Reed 1909 gifted a tier 1 sub to Victor Khan.
Thank you so much for that, for giving that sub there, Rig. Hold on.
You can take away my spaceship. You can take away my space suit. You can even take away my space lasers.
No pew-pews.
But you can never, ever take away my space game.
Agis as well if you have coin.
Shifty Streaming just resubscribed for 3 months. Done.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that, that 3 months there, Shifty Streaming. You were a very important public, very impressive Pennsylvania pedestrian. This is your fault. You're drinking night. Shots and cheers in chat, y'all. Shots and
Take
cheers.
away my spaceship.
Spaceship.
You can take away my space suit.
Suit.
You can even take away my space lasers.
No pew-pews.
But you can never, ever take away my space game.
Markin42 just resubscribed for 14 months.
Markin, thank you so much for that 14 months of support. Markin, that's a Macron. Marcon 42. Mark on 42. Thank you for that 14 months of support there, buddy. You're a very important pupper, very impressive Pennsylvania pedestrian. This is your follow the reason we're drinking night. Shots and cheers in chat, y'all. Shots and cheers. Breaking a sweat? No. Not yet. All right. Is there any questions about what we're going to do? Did the servers just die? They... Not as far as I know. Is everybody ready to go? Red light day, yes. All right. No, anybody not ready? Spirits are high. All right, let's try this. Yeah, it might be for you. You might want to try to here's the secret that I found, which is gonna sound pretty simple, but it's not obvious. Often, if you're having issues with logging into the game, log out, like get out of the game, log out of the launcher entirely, re-sign into the launcher, and try it again. That often fixes a lot of my problems. Also, if you're seeing an issue where, like, say, you're stuck at hub authentication, or you're just stuck on loading, let the game crash on its own. Do not force crash it. B1's actually working, so it's not a 30K, so we're good. You have a login queue. Let you take your just let it go. Once you've had that login queue, I don't think you have it once you've gotten in. In the wake of disaster? The hell is that? Oh, this is the new salvage contract, isn't it? No, that's not it. Yeah, it's salvage. Yeah. From Clovis Darnley. Yeah. Money from nothing. Oh, that's the, Stuck at loading, try closing it and then reopening it, that kind of thing. That's the only example I would say is if you're stuck at, like, forever loading, if it's stuck on a specific entity issue, that's the one I would alt F for it. Because it should still let you into the server, because it should still hold your place in the server. Money from nothing. Something I can't remember the full song. Howdy.
Don't have your marker because the game crashed before. Great.
All right, so I'm gonna mute my microphone for now. Actually, no, I'll just do that later. I'll set this up when we get over there. No. All right, so I'm gonna use VoIP enabled when we get to starting everything. So I'll just have it voice enabled.
Roger.
I'll get food and stuff when we get over there because I'm jonesing.
Expo burritos, oh yeah.
The best burritos, Expo burritos. The only thing that I disagree with is that it's not overpriced. Those burritos should be 3 times the cost of the typical burrito. The authentic convention experience.
Especially since the t-shirts are like 700.
Yeah. No, Diablos. Let's not.
Come in. That's right.
Let's not ask about drugs at this moment. We'll talk about that later.
There's no asking, there's taking and using.
That's true. Post-measure Aegis ships is
Slow jog. What I feel like we need Vangelis music right now.
yeah. Come on. There we go. There's the Saber. There's the possibly the Redeemer. Possibly the Reclaimer as well. We don't know. That would make sense. And the Eclipse. The Eclipse is post-measure as well. The convention center is the stim-free environment. Yes. No, Vulcan is actually super early measure. Yeah, Vulcan was made in 2593. We'll talk about that when we get to it. Yeah, I got you, Fizzle. Once we get stopped here, we're gonna clip through. Ah, no. Convention center. Everyone step out.
Sir, that's illegal. Stop levitating, sir.
He's just standing firm with the oh no, he's literally levitating. He's one with the Force. The Force is one with him.
Held aloft by only the power of his rage.
Yes. It's a secret. It's the secret UEE combat style that he's using. He's UEE Special Forces because he's a UEE serviceman. That's why he's got that. He's got the the casual uniform on. It's UEE's David Blaine. Can I get some drink, please?
Waiting passengers should be mindful of the platform's edge. Strong winds can arise suddenly.
Free! Good, I'm done. Alright, meet you all at the actual center stage, the actual location. Okay, let me get you, I'll get you an invite there, Fizzlefuse. Da-da-da-da-da-da. You're still in the party, it looks like. Yeah, you're still in the party.
Don't let hunger and thirst slow you down. While enjoying your day, be sure to treat yourself with a stop of Bevic Convention.
What is 100 plus? Yeah, it's 100 plus. I think it's 100 for big events. They keep it around 100. Though I think it's technically they've gotten up to like 140.
Bevic Convention Center. Have a great rest of your day.
Let's go in. Take a couple different elevators so we don't all break our legs. Didn't work.
There's so much garbage in this can.
Hello and welcome to the Bevic Convention Center. Our corp's leading destination.
This can.
They just said it was a stim-free environment, Diablos. Why you just got to stim up like that? In front of Finley?
Not my mom.
Didn't stick? Alright, I'll try it again. Let's go up here.
Hey Paul, your favourite ship's on the stage.
I have one thing to say about that.
My name is Paul Shelley, and my favourite ship is the Redeemer.
I currently make nice on the 4 by one that's by 8 pioneer. This ship, Zero's one outpost and a plate mason. Place, okay, place.
You can take away my spaceship. You can take away my space suit.
This is the Redeemer.
You can even take away my space lasers. But you can never,
Never,
ever
ever.
take away my space game.
CMDRTIBTIB just resubscribed for 2 months.
Thank you so much there, Commander Tibib. Commander Tib. Thank you so much to the Twitch Prime for 2 months. You were very important, Pumper. Very impressive, Pennsylvania pedestrian. This is your fault. You're the reason why I'm drinking that. Shots and cheers in chat, y'all. Shots and cheers. All right. Let's get back to the game. Here you go. You want what I think about this?
Intently staring at that menu.
Preview.
Oh, look, it's Colton Showers Shelley.
Preview.
That's what I think about this thing. All right, let's go to the center and we'll do the introduction and everything. Everyone, meet me over here. Give Redeemer lore. There is no Redeemer lore, sadly.
The UEE Navy is proud to welcome Aegis Dynamics back to Invictus launch. history. Their past was draped in shadow for decades. We are thrilled to see that they have truly committed themselves to building a brighter future.
Rig just got a box now. Is that the party box, Rig? All right, we're waiting for Octavian, but y'all can hear me, right, in game?
While fighters like the Hornet and Gladius have become synonymous with the
Yes.
Awesome. I have it voice activated now, so now everyone can hear me. I can hear all of the D's nuts jokes that come by. Let me see the. Okay, so yeah, it's Nautilus and the Vulcan. We'll go to right and left. Yeah, that's about right. That's good. Do you want to join the tour, or do you just want to hang out? You can hover over there. That's fine too. We'll start here in a bit. Tour's about to start. It's going to start in about maybe a few more minutes. We're waiting for one more person to show up who's pre-registered. I'm gonna take you along the hall. I'll tell you about all the different ships, the history behind them, and all that kind of stuff. So. Jedi? Yes. Loud and clear. That's the beer cooler. Watch CIG says it was made by a popular pilot called Paul Shelley. They wouldn't do that. I did make my own Redeemer lore, but it's not official. It should be in the U.S., so it's probably a different probably an issue with the. I'm surprised no one's wearing the veteran uniform. Well, I mean, it's like a beardless me with shorter hair.
I have changed, but the server hasn't fully think I've changed. So on my screen I'm wearing one thing, on your screen I'm wearing another. Yep,
that's the back-end services currently garbage fire.
Welcome to the Invictus ship hall. All of these vehicles are this year's additions to the fleet. With the expanding nature of operations throughout the
I love how your character's animation is just looking at his movie glass.
It's look back and forth and then look at your movie glass. It's almost like a phone animation, you know, how like you're if you've been waiting too long, kind of idle.
And your left leg is jittery.
Yeah, mine is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks fine on my side.
Tapping impatiently.
It's fun to me, but yeah. They need to mocap me. No. Hey, Adam. Yeah, feel free. That's the reason why I do these things live, so we can record, so people can come back and watch them. Are you ready to share your Redeemer lore? I'm not gonna do it on this one because it doesn't really work, but it is on. I did a video on it on the Astro Historian, so. So now Diablos is wearing his suit and everything like that, so I can see that. You're not wearing your clown outfit there, Kepler? Klepter? God, we can keep doing that. I changed the T to an L. So Octavian's almost here. Yeah, I see your randomly your clown attire, your random clown attire.
More so than any other manufacturer, reps and engineers are a common fixture at the Academy and Invictus, trying at first.
We'll get started once Octavian gets here, and then after this, we're gonna head to. We're waiting for one more person, but when they get here, we'll do the tour, and after the tour, we'll try to find the Flysa on Daymar. So we'll get in a big group in a big ship and fly out to Daymar, if that's cool with y'all.
What about a big group in a small ship?
Invictus is a celebration of the men and women who are about to ship on
Clown car?
launch week not only
Yeah, cram everybody into Pisces.
I don't think we could fit this many people in a Pisces without people dying.
That's a sacrifice I'm willing to take.
Z, we'll wait for you. Don't worry about it. You're only 1 million kilometers away, so it's only a couple more minutes.
Daj,
Yeah.
why aren't you on my friends list?
as members of the Empire. It's your right
I
to
don't know.
respect the latest acquisitions of the UEU Navy.
Yeah, now Klepter is in suit. There's Fizzfuse. Got everything going. Yeah, now Z is only 1.6, so we're good.
I can't.
Or 1,000 kilometers.
Damn it. Let me throw it. Let me throw it.
Throw it! Throw it! Hit me! Stop trying to hit me and hit me!
Let me.
We're going to find the Flysa, is what we're going to do after this. For those of you who don't know what the Flysa is the crashed Javelin on Daymar. But it's hidden. You have to know generally where it is. On the train pants list. How do you join the servers? I mean, just add me as a friend on the game. I'll do it. Love the box of beers. That was Rig's idea.
You are invited to train with the Marines on the hostile environments of colony.
All right, too epic. We can go with a chill.
For centuries, Invictus has been a time of friends and family,
Yeah, I'm jittering now.
celebrating moments of duty, service, and sacrifice.
Tour will start very shortly.
Take away my spaceship. You can take away my space suit. You can even take away my space lasers. But you can never, ever take away my space game.
Alexander 313 just resubscribed for 6 months.
Thank you so much for that. 6 months of support there, Alex. You are very important, Papa, very impressive, very new pedestrian. This is your fault. You reason drinking night. Shots and cheers in chat. Shots and cheers. Yes, Klepter, you can put in links. Yeah, you can find where it is. It's you have to go there. All right, I think everyone's here. We're gonna get started. Give me a few seconds.
40 kilometers still away. That away, behind the tally.
Hmm? Oh, Octavian. Okay, we'll wait a little bit longer then. I thought that was Peruna. So, yeah. Be here shortly.
While fighters like the Hornet and Gladius have become synonymous with the UEE Navy, the truth is that with the
You know, honestly, I'm not going to be able to say much there, Celine, because the reality is that we don't know a lot about the Redeemer. Its lore is incomplete. We do know that those engines are called vector lock engines, and that's about it. It's made by Aegis. We don't even know when it was made.
If there was any actual official law, Paul, that would have been more.
I think if they explained why it's so different from the Aegis design language, then I'd be a little bit more okay with it. But Laura's gonna start shortly.
You would love it if they actually put those engines on more Aegis ships.
Maybe newer ones. Yeah.
I expect you to tell the Redeemer story with a passion.
I mean, a fiery hatred passion, maybe, sure. Fair. I figured I'd just say with a meme instead of the meme. Yeah. Do your best to try to get in, though.
Wish I could have found pants for it here.
Right, there's no pants on the outside, is there? Like, there's no pants in the like, you can't buy pants at the souvenir area. It's okay. Pants are the opiate of the masses.
No manufacturer pants.
I would love to see Invictus sweatpants. Just give us sweatpants, CIG. Let us embrace the space hobo life.
They could do like military fatigue style sweatwear,
or like shorts, like athletic shorts, military style athletic shorts.
Sure.
Are there shorts in the game at all?
No.
Can you guys be brief talking about these underwear?
Someone's giving someone short pants. I think it's Ghost just handed out pants.
Just keep it tidy.
Tavian is only 11 kilometers away. Be almost here shortly. I think they probably landed. Tori's going to start shortly.
Well, you actually found some relics?
You can buy relics. This is a gold bar, I think. Yeah, it's a UNE gold bar.
See if we can unwrap it, and if there's like chocolate inside, it's a fake.
Did you actually find that relic? Whoever put that down there, or did you buy one? Because that's the important one to know. Because if we could find them, we can actually go looking for them. But we haven't seen them for a while.
We are thrilled to see that they have truly committed themselves to building a brighter future.
That is true. CIG might be a little bit wary of exposing skin because there's just not a lot of even t-shirts. I mean, there are, but there's just one t-shirt style that's just copied over and over again. AE money. Question: Do you think CIG made more money with a Fury or a larger ship? They probably made more money with a Fury. Found it on Daymar?
Yep, he can't VoIP.
Did you find it in a look like in a? Where did you find it in Daymar?
An abandoned outpost.
At an abandoned
An
outpost.
abandoned outpost.
I can hear him now. So,
It was
so
inside one of the chests that spawn inside of the towers that are half destroyed.
that's big. They haven't been the relics haven't been spawning in game for a while, so we might do a trip to the Flysa and then just comb Daymar for its relic size if you want to do a lore expedition.
Thanks,
We ain't
thanks for
found
pants.
shit.
Yeah, that's big, Klepter. Like we've been looking for these for a while and thought they were kind of gone. They actually were entirely removed in 3.18 by accident. So
I found it on accident too. I wasn't expecting it. Wasn't looking for it at all.
you can find them in. They're supposed to be able to find them in relic outposts or in ruin outposts. So that's good news. You've just made my week.
Oh no, that's too much.
Lore expeditions are back on the menu, boys. For those of you who don't know, I run an organization called the League of Relic Enthusiasts, or Lore, and we go looking for these. So the goal is to eventually open up a museum so we can, have some of these.
While fighters like the Hornet and Gladius have become synonymous with the UEE Navy, the truth is that with the variety of operations over the vastness of the Empire,
We need display case though. That's what we need.
Yeah, we do.
including some models,
Is where did they go? I don't see their HUD anymore.
Password is what?
Did they make it?
Good question. Oh,
Yeah,
125 meters over
100
there.
Yeah, 107. Yeah, we're good.
for those with loved ones setting off today to begin their life in the Navy,
Wait, can we raid the Redeemer
There.
Bridge?
get a better
What? Right. Actually, will there be stuff in that fridge?
I don't think there is. Diablo's go check it out.
He's gone. He's gone.
Yeah, it looked like
He
it
don't
was
care
empty
about
when
the
I
lore.
walked
He
in
only
there.
cares about the beer.
He cares about the beer. There you go.
Octavian's here. We can start without Diablo, so of course.
Yeah, once Diablos checks the beer fridge.
Although Invictus is a celebration of the men and women who are about to ship off to begin their training, Launch Week not only provides an opportunity to celebrate our recent graduates, but also gives our active service members much needed recreation.
He has something in his hand.
Be sure to thank a starman today.
It's a turd.
Nothing?
I got the juice.
They have juice?
There's not much in there. There's juice and food packs.
Ah, okay. All right. Well, Laura's going to start here shortly. Give me like 2 seconds, and we'll get started. All right, y'all. This is the lore tour of 2953. This is the Aegis floor lore tour. For those of you watching after the fact, you see all these people. We're doing this live, and you can come join us live at twitch.tv/theastropub, youtube.com/theastropub live. Yeah, we'll come watch us. We'll be doing this for every new floor. So we did one yesterday for the other manufacturers. You can do it for today, and then we'll do another one on Wednesday. So yeah, come join us for this one. All right. With that, let's get started with some of the introductions. Alrighty, welcome to the floor for Aegis Day for Invictus 2953. Well, first off, before we get started, I'm going to give you a little bit of a background on Aegis Dynamics. Aegis Dynamics was founded very early on, pre-UEE, actually I think pre-UPE, in 2532, 421 years ago. It was founded by a merger of two companies, Davian-based Dynamic Production Systems and Earth-based Aegis Macrocomputing. Now, you got to understand the context for this foundation was humanity had just discovered the Xi'an, and at the same time, we'd also recently been encountering the Banu. We'd already encountered Banu, we'd just encountered Xi'an, and the humanity was very, how to put it, scared and not prepared for war. So there was a call for new military ships to be produced, and the call was met with Aegis Dynamics, these two companies merging specifically to make warships. So Aegis has always been and will always be, first and foremost, a warship, a combat ship manufacturer. During the Mezzer era, they became very popular because the ships in the Mezzer regime were all Aegis. They became the standard ship for all of the Mezzer period. Mezzer had a really good working relationship with Aegis Dynamics because the ship saved his life during the First Tavaran War. And since then, the majority of the naval ships that make up the UEE Navy are still Aegis. They did lose a lot of their contracts after the fall of the Mezzers because they're so closely tied to the Mezzers, but they were spared from being completely removed because of their requirement. Like they just so many things were made up of. So much of the Navy was made up of Aegis ships that it would have been a suicide to try to do anything else. So, with that being said, let's go look at some of these ships. As you know, there's a couple of new ships that have come back since then, and Aegis has sort of slowly worked its way back into the good graces of the Navy. So let's get over here. Let's take a look at the oldest ship over here, the Retaliator.
What's in the game and all?
What's that? All right, so the Retaliator Bomber. The Retaliator Bomber was first produced in 2544, during the middle of the First Tavaran War. Bombers were not actually really a thing in the UEE Navy before this, and they needed something specifically designed to combat the Tavaran. And so Aegis came up with their first real, as far as we know, this is their first real combat ship, the Retaliator Bomber. It was designed after extensive interview with bomber pilots. Up to that point, the UEE had been using civilian ships that had been converted to bomber warfare. So this ship itself was designed with the input of bomber pilots as to what they would want in a designed, specifically bespoke bomber ship. Since then, it's gone on. So this ship is over 400 years old, but every few years, Aegis has completely revamped the design. A lot of the exterior has remained the same, but the interior is completely different than it was before. After the fall of the Mezzers, the Retaliator began to get phased out initially, and so the Aegis was struggling to find a way of keeping afloat, and discovered that there was a specific version of the Retaliator that was very popular for spaceship modders, and they would bomb out these Retaliators, completely recreating, like removing the insides for specific, custom things like living rooms and bars and casinos and such. So when Aegis was looking to find new sources of income, they decided to go to the civilian market, and specifically to sell the Retaliator as kind of a base model. We're moving all of the missiles and such, the torpedoes, to civilians to let them kind of customize it themselves, and they've made their own modules since then. So this was the ship that really started Aegis Dynamics' journey and saved them after the Mezzer era. And today it's still valuable, it's still being used, though there's really nothing else like it. There's nothing that's kind of replacing it yet. So it's got a lot of weapons, a lot of these weapons. None of these are pilot controlled. They're all controlled by by gunners. It has a crew of like 6 people on it, and carries up to, I believe, 6 size 9 torpedoes, 4 to 6, I think. 'Cause remember, the bottom area over here has like 2 for each of these bays. There's actually 2 torpedo bays on this. So, all right. With that, let's head over from one of the oldest ships to one of the newest ships. We're walking here. We're walking. This is a giant flaming garbage can that everyone calls the Redeemer. Unfortunately, we don't know a lot about the Redeemer's history. We do know that it is either a very recent or a very old ship. It's either 100 years old or only a couple of years old. We don't really know that details. We do know it's an experimental design. These engines right here were called the vector lock engines. They expand open to during transit, and then they will rotate 90 degrees down to when hover mode to give it some stuff. This is a gunship, pure-bred gunship. It has overwhelming firepower. Its sole purpose in the battlefield is to drop off maybe a few troops, but stick it around the area and just pummel the enemy with as much fire as possible. It does have some flexibility. There will be some modularity modules available for civilians in the future, but it's just not currently available. With that, let's head over to the big kahuna of the exhibit, the Hammerhead.
It's hammer time.
All right, welcome to Project Monitor. Fun fact: this ship was partially designed by the founder of Anvil Aerospace, but Project Monitor was a goal to replace an aging version that was kind of a collier, which had been converted to intercept torpedoes and fighters. This was started in March of 2765. So they needed to replace the Gwyn class patrol ships. This is a patrol ship, which was designed to act as a kind of a screen, a fleet screen for fighters and torpedoes, as well as to operate on its own in conjunction with other patrol ships like the Perseus. It has, I believe, 6 turrets on it. Each of these turrets are pretty massive. These are, I believe, size 4 guns on them. The purposes of these, each of these turrets is to intercept fighters and torpedoes to prevent any attacks. Now, the first Flight 1s were delivered in November of 2765. And they worked okay, but over time they began to increase them. And the most modern version is the Flight 4 model, which was produced in 2947. This is the Flight 4 model itself. Each of them have kind of been slightly upgraded with sensors and such. But these are also, just like many other Aegis ships, this is actually a very popular ship to convert. There's a VIP transport version of this, which was used by the UE Navy. There's also a version which replaces the guns for a more shielded cockpit for each of these turrets, and is used to go just skim as close as possible to the surface of stars, as for tourists. There's actually some mysteries about that ship, because at one point it was found with completely dead. Everyone was inside was dead or missing, but no sign of a struggle or anything like that after and no sign of radiation either after it. So it's a spooky mystery. But the Project Monitor and the Hammerhead have been very, very popular. They continue to work today. In fact, there is a famous battle where 3 or 4 of these ships were able to defeat a Vandal destroyer that was under attack. They worked together with some maneuvering. So while this is designed to fight fighters and torpedoes, it is possible to take on larger ships with these in mass. And it's still very much used in the UE today. That being said, let's move over here to some more of the fighters' designs.
Invictus Launch Week is a great opportunity to see your taxes at work. As members of the Empire, it's your right to inspect the latest acquisitions of the UEE Navy.
And we're walking, and we're walking. All right. We'll come here so we can start to talk about a few of these things. Let's talk about the Valiant a little bit, and the Gladius in general. So the Gladius is another one of the older ships from Aegis. This ship itself is the... you can think of this as a human version of the Tavaran Talon. Now, a bit of a history lesson. Before the First Tavaran War, human ships could not... small human ships couldn't actually have a shield generator. In fact, not even the vaunted Perseus actually had a shield generator. It's probably one of the oldest ships that's still around and flyable today. It had to rely on its armor. So not even like larger or more patrol ships could even carry energy shields. But Tavarans could, up to their smaller fighters. So after the war, much research and development went into improving that factor, with small fighters being able to get better shield tech. The Gladius was built after a famous event known as the Fall of the Olympus. The UEE Olympus was tricked into crashing into a planet in the Null system. And there they effectively... the last people alive of the Olympus was the Olympus Combat Air Patrol, which was made up of what at the time were called stiletto light fighters. And up to then, most light fighters were given the job of patrol duty and maybe escort duty, but they were seen as lesser ships. I think we got a 40K maybe? 30K? No, we're good. All right, excellent. Maybe? Now we're back. Okay, good. All right, there we go. So, yes, as I was saying, the last stand of the Olympic, the UES Olympics, Olympus's cap, was stiletto fighters. They were seen as lesser fighters. They weren't seen as very valuable. They're kind of like the back end. They're given the shit duties. But during this last stand, the Olympus's cap managed to destroy dozens, I think something like 30 or 40 pirate vessels alone. And that's pretty impressive. If you've seen the Mirai Fury, the stiletto is very similar to the Mirai. It's basically a capsule with guns strapped to it. So that's kind of to give you a concept. And it did really, really well in this last stand, though all of the pilots did eventually die. The black box recording eventually made it back to the UEE, and it became a huge propaganda boost. So as a result, the UEE decided to really invest in some of their ideas for light fighters to try to see if they could actually improve it, and that was where the Gladius came in. The Gladius is most famous for... the most famous Gladius squadron is probably Squadron 36, which has effectively learned how to use the Gladius in combat since its inception. This right behind us is part of the Masters of Flight series, which was created as a combination, a kind of cooperation between Arena Commander, the video game, and Aegis Dynamics and several other companies. This is the livery and the loadout of one specific pilot. Let me pull the name up of. Condi Hillard. Now, Condi was a mercenary who was part of the Orion Defense Protection, and she had a Gladius whose sole kind of... the Gladius's sole purpose was to kind of work as her mercenary ship. She found a Gladius in a junkyard and there managed to rebuild it from scrap. And while she was on the front lines with the Vanduul during the very first incursion of the Vanduul, she and her flight intercepted a group of scythes that were on their way to attack their base while they were returning to base after patrol, ambushed the scythe, and she actually squeezed off some rounds and killed the scythe, making her the first person to ever down a Vanduul ship in combat. And she used a Gladius. So in that honor, they made this sort of livery with her weapons loadout. And if you even come back here, you can actually see the livery has the Orion Defense Protections mercenary loadout right here, this ODP kind of in the back. That is the logo of the company. So yeah, this again was built in 2520. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. So, with that, let's move on to the next one over. Oh, let's go over here. Because I'm not going to really talk about the Comet too much, but we'll talk about the Saber. Now, the Saber has some conflicting history. This supposedly was entered as the next great starfighter contest, next generation of starfighter contest. The problem is that historical records say there are two of the exact same name around the same time, which likely means that this was they're both probably the same. There's been just some confusion. But the Saber was produced in the 2930s as part of this competition. It is a stealth fighter, designed more as an ambush fighter than anything. And it was built for the competition for the would eventually be won by the F-8 Lightning. It went up against the F-8 Lightning and the RSI Scorpius. And even though it lost, before they even had announced the results of who was going to win that competition, Aegis already started to sell several of these ships to the civilian market. This is kind of the ultimate example of the change of Aegis from military to civilian market. Is that they before they had even sold a contract for these things, they were selling them to mercenaries. So this was it's a pretty popular ship in the verse. It does pretty well. And as part of the Masters of Flight series, we also see the Comet. Now, the Comet is the livery and the loadout. Now, it's my theory that the Comet is actually or the Saber itself is actually based off of an old design called the Comet. The Comet was kind of a technology test ship built early on in the Mezzer era by a famous pilot. Let me pull up the name of the pilot. Kamur Dalyan, who was a famous pilot from the Battle of Aegis 4. He was a test pilot, worked with the Comet, and even though the Comet was never kind of fully adopted, they decided to the design of the Comet influenced everything from the Gladius on forward. So this is the Kamur Dalyan's custom livery and their loadout that they would have used during their testing of the Comet, and that's why it's called the Saber Comet. All right, from some of the older ones, let's get to some more of the newer ones. Let's go over here to the Vanguard. So the Vanguard is an example of Aegis, late Mezzer Aegis design, which was specifically kind of a hybrid. The Vanguard was designed with mostly one foe in mind. The Vanguard was designed to fight the Vanduul. It's designed to operate at extreme long ranges, to operate in small squadrons, and be highly adaptable to its mission, which has made the Vanguard an incredibly popular ship with the UAE Marines. It was first built in 2737, shortly after the introduction of the Javelin, and I believe this ship was designed specifically to fit inside a Javelin, which is why it kind of designed to work in tandem. The reason why it's so popular is because it is so easy to modify. You see down here in the very back, the little kind of belly of this? This area is actually a small bay, and you can remove, with just very minimal changes, you can remove the bay and replace it with another sort of new module. And that has led to the creation of several different versions of the Vanguard with specific loadouts, which allows for the reason why the Navy or the Marines like it so much is because it's so flexible. You can basically do an entire mission with just a Vanguard platform and not have to buy different separate parts and deal with all sorts of logistical chain issues. This itself is the Warden, so this is the fighter variant. This is designed as a long-range, heavy fighter. But as part of this, the other things that they can come up with are, like over here, the Sentinel. Now, the Sentinel is designed as an e-warfare version.
The UEE Navy is proud to welcome Aegis Dynamics back to Invictus Launch Corps.
The Sentinel is designed to run Wild Weasel and other missions to come in and disrupt enemy communications, enemy scanning technology and tracking technology, and destroy AA platforms, effectively leading the way for any sort of strikes. And it has its bespoke e-warfare system, as well as a bunch of, at least the initial loadouts for the ones you can purchase, are all more designed for disabling targets rather than destroying them. Then we come over here.
Although Invictus is a celebration of the men and women who are about to ship off to begin their training, Launch Week not only provides an opportunity to celebrate...
This is the Harbinger, the Vanguard Harbinger. Now, the Harbinger is basically a bomber. So this variant swaps out the internal components for a set of size 5 torpedoes, which means that this ship can take on most small targets if it needs to. Size 5s are fairly capable of taking on patrol ships and up to a frigate class. So you can take one of these in with your missions to hit any heavy targets that you need to take out and disable, and it has... it's mostly designed to hit as hard as possible in any targets. And lastly, we have the Vanguard Hoplite. Now, this is the troop carrier version of the Vanguard. It swaps out the internals, and we'll come over here and see this. I'm going to open the door. So it swaps out the internals for a set of seats. I believe 6 seats in total. And also all of their gear. So this is one of the reasons why the Marines really love this this platform, because they, again, just as you can see, you can do an entire mission, various different aspects, different targets, including dropping off Marines and picking them up. And the thing that makes the Vanguard Hoplite separate from many of the other drop ships is that while this can drop off Marines, it's also a fighter platform. This can still engage like a normal fighter, just like a Harbinger can. It just has, instead of having the accommodations for long-term exploration, it just has the troop transport. And that's the thing about all of these. They're all fighters, but they also do more. So they're like fighter plus. And it makes it a lot easier to replace all the components when you won't just need one supply chain. So, with that all being said, let's go talk about the last little bit of fighters, and we'll talk about the stuff that's not quite in the verse yet.
Welcome to the Invictus ship hall. All of these vehicles you see on display are this year's additions to the fleet. With the expanding nature of operations throughout the systems, have a look to see how each of these ships will help defend the Empire. More so than any other manufacturer, their reps and engineers are a common fixture at the Academy and Naval bases, to try and get first-hand accounts of what works.
Then we're walking, and we're walking. We go straight across the hallway, straight across the hallway. You're good there, Cat March Mage. I forgot to turn off the alerts, so.
those with loved ones setting off today to begin their life in the Navy, stop by our friends and family to get a better understanding of what they have to look forward to in naval service. With a variety of operations over the vastness of the Empire, the Navy utilized a variety of ships, including some ones made for the
All right. And we're walking, and we're walking. All right, let's talk about the Avengers before we go forward. All right, so see Warlock. Let's go over here to this other one, to the Avenger Stalker.
They are some of the few non-marine military personnel who are invited to train with the Marines on the hostile environments of Corinth.
All right, so the Avenger Stalker. Built in 2760, this was Aegis's attempt at building a ship designed to fight the Vanduul, but also possibly the Xi'an out of carriers. This ship was eventually replaced by the Hornet, so you can see that this is kind of in that sort of realm. They also was a two-seater variant, which was the initial variant, and then you have this variant here. Now, it served pretty well. It did fairly good in its job, but it was a very short-lived experiment because after the fall of the Mezzers, the Hornet replaced it fairly quickly. Even though it served okay in the military, it found its real life in the advocacy. You see, the single-seater versions of the Stalker, of the Avenger, could replace the back seat with a complete living quarters. And that was very tempting to the advocacy who were looking for a ship for long-range patrols. The advocacy being kind of the federal police service of the UEE. Advocacy agents love this ship, because it was designed as a space superiority fighter. It was designed as a fighter, but also had accommodations for sleeping quarters. And because it had a big area in the back, this could be semi-modular. You can kind of replace it. And what the advocacy did is what we call the standard Stalker variant. These are all cryo bays. So an advocacy agent could come in to an area, apprehend suspects, put them in a cryo bay, and continue going. They didn't have to stop. And then when they got back to base, we're going to go back to a station, they could thaw them, these suspects, and put them into prisons and so on and so forth. So this flexibility became its very big popularity with the UEE advocacy. And very recently, these have been starting to get retired from the advocacy service. And so a lot of these have been ending up in civilian service. And a lot of bounty hunters love those because for the same reasons that the advocacy likes them. But we'll talk about probably one of the most famous Avengers over here. This is a recreation of the most famous Avenger ever made, probably. It's called the Renegade. That was the name of the ship, the Renegade, and it was piloted by Danny Solomon of the Bremen system. Now, Danny Solomon was known as a shoot first, ask questions later kind of officer, kind of agent. He was very rough around the edges, and he scared most of the criminals of Bremen pretty harsh. Now, one of the things that Danny Solomon had to deal with is that Bremen doesn't have a lot of piracy, it doesn't have a lot of violent crime, but it does have a lot of smugglers. And smugglers are very good at keeping up custom jobs. They're very good at fast ships. So he needed a ship that could keep up with the various criminals. So he decided to swap out the standard Stalker variant for a Titan variant. Now, when he did so, it meant that he removed all his cryopods. And this scared everyone because everyone thought, the shoot first, ask questions later kind of officer. To give you an idea, his famous quote is, "Sometimes you need to take a few shots at someone to get them to listen to you." So when he decided very publicly to drop the stasis pods, people thought that meant he was just going to kill people instead of taking them in for kind of questioning and such. And this made him super feared amongst smugglers. So once he showed up nearby, many people would just surrender because they wouldn't want to get killed. What the reality was that he had a very close working relationship with the Bremen Defense Force. The Bremen Defense Force is probably the most famous militia in the UAE. They're very good at what they do. And he relied on them to transport prisoners to that once he caught them. So he didn't have to actually catch anybody or use his own stuff, because once you caught somebody, he could pick up, have the Bremen Defense Force come by and pick them up pretty quickly afterwards, since they were always active in the system. But to kind of lean into this reputation, he named his Titan the Renegade. So that's as part of a kind of an honor to him. They created the Titan Renegade as part of the Masters of Flight series. So that same kind of program created the Comet and the Valiant. So, all right. Now, we'll come over here and show you some of the other kind of variants of them, so you can get an idea of how modular these ships are. So this is the Titan, to show you the kind of differences between the Stalker and the Titan.
Yo, are y'all all players?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I'm doing a tour if you want to come join us. We're almost done. All right, so this Titan variant is a little bit different from the Stalker variant. As you can see, they've removed all of the crowd chambers just for a cargo bay. And this has been pretty popular with kind of new haulers to the verse, and they just kind of get started, they use this. But on top of that, there's even one more crazier variant over here, which is the Warlock. Now, the Warlock replaces the whole back section with a custom-built EMP generator. This is still one of the biggest EMP generators you can purchase on the market. It has a range of something like a 1K, where most of the other ones have a range of about 500 meters. So it's a pretty beefy system. But it does mean you have to swap out all of your flexibility for the interior, and you can only get in and out of the cockpit. But all of these variants are also used by the advocacy pretty frequently, especially for harsher locations. The general rule of thumb is if you see one Avenger, you're probably in for, an advocacy agent, you're probably in for a hard time. If you see multiple Avengers, run. Just get out of there. Even if you're not the one they're coming after, stuff's gonna happen. Because they don't group up in larger groups of agents unless there's something really bad they're going to be doing. So, with that, let's head over to the kind of future ships, which aren't quite currently in the game yet, but are going to be in the future.
Why isn't there a medical variant?
We don't know. There could be a medical variant in the future. These are modular, so we could definitely see. I could definitely see one in the future.
Are you forgetting the Eclipse?
Oh, we didn't talk about the Eclipse. Let's talk about the Eclipse. Yes. Now, the Eclipse has got a funny story to it. Now, this was first built in 2920. The story of this is that a top secret, highly classified naval program built a very sensitive long-range sensor array. And in August of 2918, they found something that they'd been looking for years, which was a dry dock, a Vanduul dry dock. It was hidden in an asteroid belt, and because humanity had never seen where the Vanduul go outside of just pure combat, this was big. The problem was that if they just straight up attacked that location, they would reveal the secret program that they had been developing for this highly sensitive technology, and could also, expose to the Vanduul that they knew how to find them, because this has obviously been highly secret. So the Navy kind of tried to figure out what to do. They thought maybe they could try to stealth, make destroyers stealth, or improve stuff, comms ships. I spent billions of credits on this, and eventually they came to Aegis Dynamics to help them build a stealth bomber, a bomber designed to not be seen, be able to strike and get out, so that the Vanduul wouldn't even know what hit them. And that became the Eclipse. And in 2920, the Eclipse, 3 flights, so something like 12 Eclipses, were discreetly added to a carrier group. And the carrier group moved towards this dry dock, with the Eclipses screening out in the front of the fleet. The goal of the Eclipse to reach the enemy targets, blow them up before the fleet showed up, and then get out. The problem is that when the Eclipses showed up, what they found out was that asteroid belt dry dock was nothing but sensor ghosts. It was just a giant mistake. They had completely misread the information they had gotten, and it was just nothing. It was literally just nothing there. It was just all asteroids. And which meant that the UEE had spent billions of dollars on research and development for a highly classified, highly advanced bomber that they had no use for. And that became the Eclipse. It's served its purpose over since then, but it was also recently discovered in 2945 that this ship existed because of some investigative journalism. And as a result, it was released to the public as part of the Militia Mobilization Act. So, which is why it's out now. So, all right, with that, let's head out.
Already being battle tested throughout the Empire and beyond. With that kind of success, it's no wonder that the Navy expanded their roster of Aegis ships in their fleet.
Yeah, those stutters I think are server frame issues. I think it's the server that's having some struggles right now. We're gonna head down to the very bottom floor area to kind of see the future.
The UEE Navy is proud to welcome Aegis Dynamics back to Invictus launch group. Though they have created some of the most iconic...
It's because I am a haggard old man. Shiny. It fits. All right, we're going to go to the right and go to the left. All right. All right, so this is one of the older Aegis ships in development. This is the Aegis Vulcan. Now, the Vulcan has an interesting history because in 2590, the Mezzers had a realization, a big problem, which is by the end of the 26th century, humanity had a lot of territory that was just undeveloped. So large systems which had some settlements in them, but had no space stations, had no expanded fuel stations, so you couldn't get, hydrogen fuel or quantum fuel. So they needed a ship to be able to fuel and support fighter squadrons, which were often the front line of defense in frontier areas, with in the field, in places where they may not even have access to traditional infrastructure. And there was a group known as the, let's see what the name of it, what it is, the Wayfarers Club. The Wayfarers Club is a group of spaceship enthusiasts who are trying to improve this situation. They want to do it on a civilian side. So they were a group of spaceship enthusiasts who converted haulers and other tankers and such into floating gas stations and repair bays and such to try to encourage more people to buy ships and fly them around, and wanted to build more infrastructure. So when they heard about the Vulcan in 2590, they decided that they asked Aegis if they could get some of these purpose built. And Aegis had never built civilian ships, so they had to ask the Mezzers, who agreed that this would be a good idea. And so the Wayfarers Club became the first group authorized to buy an Aegis ship outside of the UE military. And it's still being used today. The Vulcan is kind of like a space roadside assistance vehicle. Its main job is to use its complement of drones to repair, refuel, or rearm space vessels in space. You can also do it on planets and such, but it's kind of a small logistics support ship. And it's been doing its job pretty well ever since then. And it's expanded its role since the fall of the Mezzers extensively as well, as, again, humanity is on the move, and there's just not a lot of support in places like, say, Pyro or other locations, which just aren't as developed as other locations are. All right, from the Vulcan, let's head on over to I believe, the Nautilus. Yes, the Nautilus.
Naughty.
So the Nautilus was first introduced in 2549. This is another one of those very old ships, shortly after the end of the First Tevarin War and the beginnings of the UNE. The Nautilus was a top secret ship. This ship was designed specifically from the input of First Tevarin War veterans who were mine layers. Early in the war, the many military members who were charged with mine laying found themselves with converted haulers, which were designed to hastily converted to drop mines. And Aegis did what it does best. It interviewed a lot of those haulers and a lot of those mine layers, and came up with a ship that they thought would address all of their concerns while also looking to fulfill the contract that was needed. And thus, the Nautilus was born. The Nautilus was used extensively along the Peri line, which is the line that divided between humanity and the Xi'an, to mine out specific areas and choke points. In the Second Tevarin War, it actually had a secret role during the Battle of Centauri. It actually laid out mines to force the Tevarin into a specific route if they wanted to try to get to the jump point. So they were forced to limit their numbers without running into these mines or slow down to deal with the mines themselves, which would eventually lead to the defeat of the Tevarin in the Second Tevarin War. Most recently, Nautilus squadrons were used to do what's called the Hellkite Run in the 2946 or 2947 during the Battle of Oberon, where a Vandal fleet engaged a UE fleet, and there it was also the same battle where the Perseus kind of came back to prowess, and the first battle of the Retribution. These squadrons of Nautiluses would go in behind the advancing Vandal and actually laid mines on their retreat paths. So when the Vandal started to retreat, they didn't go anywhere. They went straight into a minefield and completely destroyed them, wiping out the entirety of the Vandal clan that had tried to attack Oberon. Since then, it's been declassified and being available for civilian use through the Militia Mobilization Act. This is, again, over something like 500 years old. 404 years old, specifically. So, some of these ships will be available in the verse sometime in the future. So, and that's the stuff for today.
You can take away my spaceship. You can take away my space suit. You can even take away my space lasers. But you can never,
again,
take away my space game.
Thank you for joining us. Give me one moment.
Senale just resubscribed for 34 months.
Thanks for that 34 months of support there. Senale, you're a very important pub, a very impressive pisser of any pedestrian. This is your fault.
Drinks all around. Let's party like it's your birthday. Party
1 second.
it's your birthday. Come on and put your lips together. Blow the candle out. Party like it's your birthday. Party like it's your birthday. I wanna make you feel real special. Put your name in lights. We are gonna party like it's your birthday. Gonna party like it's your birthday. Gonna party like it's your birthday. Blow the candle out.
The BB88 just got a sub from Senale. Senale gifted a tier 1 sub to the BB88.
Oh gosh, we can just keep doing this, aren't we? Thank you for joining us, by the way. We do these live at the very beginning, so probably around the same time on Wednesday or Tuesday, we'll be doing this again for Anvil. So thank you for joining us so far.
Ever. Take away my space game.
Grinkledas has subscribed.
Thank you so much there. Where is that? Grunkle Deros, thank you for the prime sub. You're a very important public, very impressive pisser of any pedestrian. You rock.
You can take away my spaceship.
Spaceship.
You can take away my space suit.
Suit.
You can even take away my space lasers. But you can never,
Never.
ever
Ever.
take away my space game.
Ash__hole just resubscribed for 37 months.
Thank you, Ash. Thank you, Ash Hole, for that 37 months. You are a very important pub, a very impressive pisser, very new pedestrian.
Spaceship.
Yes, I am saying very
You can
impressive
take away
pisser,
my
Shiny
space
Hobo.
suit. You can even take away my space lasers. But you can never,
Never.
ever
Ever.
take away my space game.
Mookie Chilt Mal just resubscribed for 21 months. Woo woo.
Mook, thanks for the Twitch Prime for 21 months. You're a very important pub, a very impressive pisser of any pedestrian. This is your...
Let's party like it's your birthday. Party like it's your birthday. Come on and put your lips together. Blow the candle out. Party like it's your birthday. Party like it's your birthday. I wanna make you feel real special. Put your name in lights. We are gonna party like it's your birthday. Gonna party like it's your birthday. Gonna party like it's your birthday. Blow the candle out.
Kapam just got a sub from Senale. Senale
Kapam.
gifted a tier 1 sub to Kapam.
Senalea to Cupham for 3 months. You're all very important pubbers, very impressive pissers, very new pedestrians. Y'all rock. Shots and cheers in chat, y'all. Shots and cheers. All right, y'all. So we're going to be heading out doing some small expeditions. We're going to go find the UES Flysa, which is a historical wreck on the moon of Daymar of a javelin. And from there, we might do a little bit of explorations as well. So you feel free to join us, but, let me know. Yeah, thank you for joining us. All right, let's go, y'all. All right, under suits.
Let's go.
Take
What
away
ship
my
we taking?
spaceship. You can take away my space suit. You can even take away my space lasers.
I don't know yet. Hold on.
But you can never, ever take away my space game.
I got a carriage here. BOB though.
Bonformet just resubscribed for 3 months. Of all the vids I've ever viewed, I've never viewed a vid as valued as Astropub's vid.
Thank you, Bonfomet. You are a very important pub, a very impressive pisser, very new pedestrian. You rock. Shots and cheers in chat, y'all. Shots and cheers. Can you redo the Redeemer? Apparently you're short. There's just no lore for it, other than that there's vector lock engines, and it's designed as a to be modular and has guns. That's it. That's literally all it is. Gonzo, I got you. All right, I'm gonna speak in the Discord mostly for now. Let's go to head to the spaceport and see what we can do. Carrick might be a good idea, but we also might want to do a Steel or a Valkyrie, because it's just easier to do that.
Yeah, I got a Valkyrie or a Steel I can pull.
Okay.
Yeah, got both too. No, I don't. Why did I lie immediately? I got a Valkyrie.
Okay. Weapons.
I got it too.
Join the channel. First thing I say, a flat out lie.
That's what you always do. You flat out lie.
Nothing I've ever said on the captain's table has been true.
Not even your beer selections?
Especially my beer selections.
I trusted you, Darsh.
All right, let's head to the spaceport.
I will say this: as an Australian, I know all what Darsh drinks, and it's all Foster.
It's all Foster's.
There's a bit of Newcastle as well.
I probably need to get some
garbage on the ground.
Need to get some drinks. I'm at 59% hydration.
There was a lot of beer on the tour. Should have hydrated.
Yeah, I'm not gonna drink while I'm doing.
What ship we taking?
That's Armor Diablos.
We're gonna take a Valkyrie, I think.
Thank you. I need to get it because I need the color scheme for what I'm doing currently. Because the funny thing is, this armor changes color in every light it goes in, so it's nigh impossible to find out what color it is. So I'm just going to go off the concept.
Cool.
All right.
Cupan, I'm glad you got that reference.
Yeah, I got you, Mook. Especially the lies. Oh, we're talking. We're talking. Deep Space Nine. Yeah. Let's see who we got. Mook. You're not. Yeah, there you are. Who else on you invite?
Gonzo.
Gonzo, right. We're heading back to the spaceport, y'all.
Gotcha.
I just realized I have 0 stuff on me here, so I'm just gonna grab some stuff from Cubby Blast.
Yeah, makes sense. It's a good. This is a great place to have the Invictus celebration because you can literally get everything you need if you wanted to leave the planet.
Also, Paul, if you go on a space station recently, they've added weapons to all these orbiting planet stations.
Oh, nice.
Cool. Yeah, so if you go to the armor store, there's guns on the wall.
Nice. They do away with ship expediting? No, you can still expedite. The 20 seconds thing is more of a you have to call your ships to the spaceport now. So like it doesn't start off automatically where you spawn. You have to just ask where it's going. You know. I just missed it.
I hope you put a helmet on, Paul.
Oh, I have one, but it's in my backpack. I'm getting the thick boy suit. We're exploring. I want to be in my explorer suit.
I need flags that we can plant.
Yes, we need flags. The reason why they did it is because that was causing 19Ks and 30Ks and issues like that, where it was trying to load in all of your ships and it couldn't do so because it just couldn't process it. So they instead made it so that you had to call them in, which is something they're going to be doing in the future. Paul, look at
the server's really bad, Paul. You still don't have the helmet on.
Yeah, I have it on my end, so.
Oh. Oh, but you can see the Amazon zone on your end. Yeah.
Yeah, I got you, Fishy. You're Fishy, right? Send me a friend request because I don't see I have you.
Could you invite me as well, Joe Freak?
Yeah, I got you.
Thanks.
Why does Cubby Blast accept empty beer bottles?
Does it?
Yeah.
I guess they pay the recycling.
Yeah, it's the fund. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be there in 5 minutes. I have to re-log back in, so I'm on a train.
All right. Let's head out.
Should we load the Valkyrie with Furies?
I mean, you all have loaded rocks in it before.
You can fit only 1 or 2 in there, right?
I think you fit 3. All right. What hangar are we looking at?
Working on seeing if it spawns.
You can take
Okay.
away my spaceship.
Hold on.
You can take away my space
All of
suit.
the ship bays are.
You can even take away my space lasers.
No pew-pews.
But you can never,
Never.
ever
Ever.
take away my space game.
Justaleming just resubscribed for 24 months. 2
Thank you so much
years.
for that. Thank you for that 24 months of support there. Just Lemming, you are a very important pupper, very impressive pisser, very new pedestrian. This is your follow the reason we're drinking night. Shots and cheers and chat, y'all. Shots and cheers. Still working on it.
Yeah. Says there are no places for it to spawn.
And I think I just messed up my my inventory as well. So.
Yeah, I'm not seeing you on my end there, Fish. Try to join on me, and I'll try to help you out there. It's actually better to have to call your ship the spaceport. At least Aesop's lists your ships, so you can call the ones you need. Yeah. Which space station has the hidden game room in the cargo deck? I don't remember which one.
Well, they all did.
They all do?
Yeah, it's the same. It's a copy paste.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System. Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System. For the next available assignment. Your vehicle has been delivered to the following location. Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna do the cursed. It'll work. Watch.
Vehicle Retrieval System.
No, not the steel.
Yep.
Your vehicle has been delivered to the following location. Stand by for the next available
Why do you hate the Redeemer so much, but still keep using the steel?
I don't know why. I don't have a steal. I don't know why I have a steal here.
Even I don't even have a learner for a steel. I don't know how you do.
I don't know how I have a steal.
Have you checked the hangar? Maybe it's listed as Paul Shelley's second favorite ship now.
Maybe.
No, I can't buy anything, so I think the servers are taking a
I
dump.
think the server's taking dump. All right, so we'll all log out and log back in.
Yep.
Everyone, you all log out.
Completely log out or just a menu?
Back to menu.
Menu.
Yep.
I don't have an E1, no. Also, how fast did capture sell out? I think it took about 30 minutes for the Aegis to sell out, but it was 5 minutes for the Javelin. Yeah, we're probably going to need to server hop, though.
Okay, I'm in the menus.
took a while for me, but I'm finally loading into menus as well.
So I can see. I have Trauma Rat, but I don't see. I'm gonna log out entirely, quit out, and then come back in.
I'm still loading out.
Invictus has reached 4 million funded by the way.
Okay, I'm in menu now.
Is that what's the pace? It's 4 million, but like it was like 3.7 million in the first day.
3.3 for the first one. Yeah.
Is that better or worse than last year?
That's the question. I don't know the pacing.
Yeah, that's a good question because I'm just looking at the hourlies.
Because I think last year there was 40 mil. I want to say maybe
Invictus?
Maybe
No, 13.
13 mil. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're at 4 mil, and it's for right now. So it means we're a little under half of last year.
Third, yeah.
And one more new thing that we know of coming out.
Oh, yeah. God. I've got HAL authentication. Okay, good. I haven't looked into any Star Citizen stuff since December. I mean, this is not a bad idea. It's just more of a you're gonna have to for right now. You're just gonna have to. What the hell? I don't know. There you go.
You can take away my spaceship.
Got you, fish.
Take away my space suit.
Suit.
You can even take away my space lasers.
No pew-pews.
But you can never, ever take away my space game.
Z242 Pilot has subscribed.
Thank you so much for that, Z242 Pilot, for that Twitch Prime sub. You are very important, pumper, very impressive, Mr. Any pedestrian. This is your fault. You return drinking night. Shots and cheers in chat, y'all. Shots and cheers.
More of, I mean, towards the same area.
All right. Do we need anybody else, or waiting for Red Haze? Okay. Got a couple people we're gonna wait for. But
you know what I find funny?
What's that?
I like the Fury, but I have a setup with my NRD jump, and it doesn't make sense for me to have a Fury on that setup because my jump is parked in a system, and I fly out from that and fly back to it. But that means if I use a Furies, I have to use the jump to get into combat and then launch. It doesn't make sense.
And that's why it was half the money that Paul thought it would be.
Not half
that
the money. I thought it was going to be 65 to 70. So it's only about $20.
Still much cheaper because
Yeah,
not having even a size 1 quantum drive is very hindering.
The arrow still works the best for the role I need it for.
Yeah.
So it's the only light fighter that actually has the quantum drive and capable combat ability.
Now, Bon Fomet, you feel free to ask questions. I'll do my best to answer. I got you, Shiny Hobo. Hold on. I'll be right back as well, chat. You know what that means. Be right back.
Weapons free, everyone.
2 words.
Good news,
Distress
everyone.
bacon. 2 words.
I'm flying.
Distress
I'm
bacon. 2 words. Distress bacon. 2 words. Distress bacon. 2 words. Distress bacon.
Everybody in a dog calls itself an outlaw.
Hunting is a complicated process. I'm flying.
I'm just an old-fashioned cowboy. Just an old-fashioned cowboy.
It was at this moment
just an old-fashioned cowboy.
He fucked up. It was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
bounty hunting is a complicated profession.
I'm Fly. I'm Pilot.
Everybody in his dog calls himself
It was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
Everybody in his dog calls himself an outlaw. Everybody in his dog calls himself an outlaw. Everybody in his dog calls himself
It was at this moment that he
Everybody
knew
in his dog calls himself an outlaw.
Stop it.
Get some help.
Stop it. There you go.
Hello, I like money.
All right. Renee's in the menus. Okay, you're good to go. All right. Let's get started. You want a Fury or the MX to have a quantum drive? I don't want any of them to have a quantum drive. That's not their point. Like whenever I hear people like, oh well, the Argo MPV UV is good if it got a quantum drive. It's like, no, it defeats the purpose of the MPUV.
The Fury is a detachable turret.
Yeah, it's an additional, it's a force multiplier, just like the Merlin.
Yeah, because I normally have a cutter on the front of my 890, and then I can fit a couple of Furies behind, but
yeah,
it's pointless.
All right, we're getting a launch out.
Fingers crossed.
Well, with this larger group, we should spawn in a server at the very least, because we're like at 20 people or something like that.
Even with 6 or 7 people, you normally spawn a server nowadays.
Mm-hmm. We just joined a 94-player server. How would we be able to join a 94-player server with like 20 people?
Because there was 70 people in it originally.
Oh.
Became 94 when we joined. Could have been a server we left. Did anyone check the shard number?
No, but I'm seeing a lot higher FPS. I'm seeing 12.
Sure,
It was
FPS.
below 10 before, yeah.
Mhm.
Still stuck at 23,000 entities there.
Yeah, I'm seeing like 11 to 12 FPS.
Yeah.
I'm seeing no entities on my end though, but
None yet. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, this is Gonzo. I'm in.
okay.
This is Greg. I'm in.
All right, so the goal is to spawn have someone spawn a Valkyrie. Usually it's Tree, if Tree can get in, and then we all hop into the one Valkyrie and get out. Avia Nocturne. Hey Rupert.
Any ground vehicles or snubs?
All right, I'm in.
No need for ground vehicles or snubs right now. We could also use more combat ships, some like light combat support, but
I'd also say since we're going to an area that is going to be off the beaten path, other ships just to kind of spread out and search for where the fly is might be good.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can take the Vanguard.
I'm currently still at no entities. But I'm not seeing any.
I was stuck at 0 entities for a while, and then it just kind of connected.
Yeah, it's saying replication layer loading persistent, so it's trying to find my background character.
Tree, what's up with your mic?
It's been like that since
No,
forever.
it's Fizzle. I'm in this one.
It's been like that for months. It's just his mic's dead.
Yeah. I'm told you can fit 18 Furies in and on a Carrack.
Wow.
Because you can put some, like 6 of them on top of
Thank you, Rupert. I said that. So hi, Paul. I just wanted done watching your info on our segment. Just want to say you guys are people. big thank you for your content. And you meant to say epic. You guys are epic. Thank you, Rupert.
I loaded it already.
This is
there
this is
goes my Anthony
strange.
showing up. Finally showed up.
I just put a helmet on, but the helmet is gray when I mouse over it.
Huh.
Yeah, inventory is a bit...
I do want to wear a helmet. I think it's very important.
Oh, I'm now stuck at 23,696. I don't know if that's that means
696 for me too. But it was only for like 30 seconds last time and continued.
yeah. And now we're saying it's finally saying it's on clients connected, so it's finally connected to the back end. And the server's FPS is now down to 7.
Excellent.
You finally load in? Yeah. No, it's back up to 10 now.
So we're getting client hitches during the tour?
Yes, we're definitely getting client hitches.
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah, I bought a mic for work, and then apparently Discord decided it doesn't want to use it.
It's much better now, though. It's a little quiet on my end, but I can just...
Bit more reverby, but it was hard to gauge with all the distortion before.
Yeah.
Game. Are we the only ones not in yet? Or
I think so. Give us some time, though. If it's like, if this is the cursed number, then we may need to just log out and get back in.
I'm also stuck at the same number.
23,696 is the new 2540.
Nope, it just kicked over. I'm at 23.7.
Yeah, you
now it's starting.
Start loading in. Yeah. There we go. Yep. Mine started cycling too.
I think what's happening is it's probably what's probably happening is when it gets a large number of people coming in, it'll sort out those people and then load up through certain entities and stop and wait for those people to load in. I think it's probably prioritizing the login queue. So
Potentially. There we go. Mine's jumping up now.
Because all of us said at the same time, like boop, it just popped in. So I think that's what it is. It's just the login queue.
There you go. You're climbing out too. My inventory is still not responsive.
Yeah, inventory is completely fucked.
Star Citizen 319.
Mm-hmm. Welcome to Star Citizens post 318.
Hey, double Paul.
All right.
And 2.
There you go.
See his inventory up yet?
Yeah, give it a few minutes.
Fingers are crossed, Tree.
My local inventory is not showing up.
Inventory takes some time. It took me 1 or 2 minutes. 1 or 2 minutes.
Let me go get a
before I
gun.
use it.
Just in case.
You know what I find funny? Paul is actually invisible for me. You are completely invisible. I can't see you at all.
Thank you, Spacing Out Ginger, and thank you for watching it. I mean, it's generally speaking, I'm not going to do videos anymore because I'm done. I'm not making videos. I'm not making those videos anymore because no one watched them and they weren't very popular. But if you do it on streams, YouTube doesn't count streams as videos for the algorithm. So you can do as many as you want to and as whatever you want, and it's usually pretty good.
Yeah, with how your videos are going now, you don't want to screw up the current algorithm.
No, exactly. I don't want to.
There we go. My inventory loaded.
I kind of screwed up the last patch, but I should have done what's in the patch on Thursday instead of on Saturday. If I'd gotten that done earlier, it would have been done a little bit better. But it's okay. It'll get over 1,000 views and it'll be fine.
Oh, hi, Paul.
Great. Not letting me buy stuff.
What's up?
You thick?
I am thick. I am. Damn boy, I am thick. I got the thick boy exploration suit. All right.
ASUP seems to be very
Yeah, the back end is very confused on this server. It has half spawned the ship. I'm gonna go see if it's actually in a hangar somewhere.
Okay.
Because I have indicators, but no hangar number, and it still shows as stored. So I
Okay.
tried to pull it a second time, and now there are 2 indicators.
Okay.
Had that 2 days ago.
Stay puffed, lore. Hey, Lex, how you doing?
Did it actually spawn the ship when you had that, or did it? Is it?
Sort of looks like the same server we just left. It could be, but
You want to try Australia?
we can try again. We'll get to where we're going and see where we're going.
I can 100% confirm Australian servers are decent.
Okay, they usually are.
But if they're bad, we go to Asia.
Yeah. Well, right now
We're
it's
on
super early in the
start
morning
at
in
8:80.
in Oz, right?
6:40 a.m.
Yeah.
So that's hilarious. I'm waiting at Copy Blast at a terminal for a transaction to process, and I see just a bunch of party markers go across my screen because you were in the.
Because you're in the thing, yeah.
Yeah, the transaction at Copy Blast is not going through.
Fine, no multi.
I like how the server knows what planet we're on as well, which is funny.
Yeah. We'll go to one of the stations or one of the stations or Grimhex or something like that before we go to Daymar, so that way people can set a spawn point and also buy stuff if we need to. We just need to get out of ArcCorp because if we stick around, it'll be more difficult to get out with everyone trying to pile into it. And things will get better as we leave the ArcCorp area.
I wonder if I can get a smaller ship just to get the Bajini or something.
I'm gonna go on my hoplite just because it's faster. I mean, my Vanguard.
It's the same server? Okay. Well, we'll see if we can get in. If we can't get out of here, then we'll hop server to a different server. But
I miss the spawn points around that middle bit. I like that.
Later, BB.
Yeah, no, it's just a Visaria portal.
Looks like people are having strugs.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval.
You got a Mustang in Hangar 6?
I don't think we're gonna fit in that.
Sounds like you've given up.
I mean, the regular.
Didn't you suggest the Pisces earlier?
No, someone else.
Pisces has interior. Mustang doesn't.
I bet it does.
It has the drop down cargo thingy.
You can fit a few people back there.
Yeah. Okay. Try.
I can't seem to get anything.
The Valk is.
You have to give it like a minute.
Tree? What's up?
Yeah, the Valk is in Never Neverland. I'm gonna try spawning it one more time and see if that actually spawns something.
Nah, let's pop.
Not there.
Let's pop servers. Let's drop servers again. Because we just jumped
Alright.
into the same server. So.
So we trying a different region?
Yeah, I'll try Oz.
You can try Europe.
Yes.
We could try Europe, but it's also like super late at night in Europe, so it's probably still popular. Or you know what?
It's like 10 p.m. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect time.
Yeah.
Prime time.
It's almost 11 here, so.
Yeah.
All right.
10:45.
Let's wait until everyone gets back in. I'm not going to jump right back in. I just wanted to get everything set up.
Okay. Menu.
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 I'm going to wait
Meow,
a few
meow.
more moments because Fishy jumped out. Menus. Or meet your maker still in PU. Menus. Okay. I can try Alex. All right, you're back. I'll wait for Alex to get it real quick.
In other news, by the way, there's like 50 minutes until Axiom 2 private crewed mission launch.
Oh, nice. All right. Let's go. Try an Oz.
Oz, yeah.
Oz, yeah.
Let me do me ass.
Go ahead.
I'm just. I have a ping of 4.7. Good, lovely.
I'm at 16 ping, so
290.
215.
200.
What's wrong? Hey, 4 ping, I win.
I shake my fist at thee.
I live at the AWS servers. What are you talking about? I have no idea why I get such a low ping to AWS.
It's because it's just built under your house.
I don't know.
That was faster, at least.
I'm still loading in.
Yeah, I know, but we moved on from 23.696 a lot faster.
Ping's now free. What the hell's going on with this server? The B win is really bad.
Now my ping is at 25.
Yeah, this is Gonzo. I'm still at 23.696.
Wait, give it a
Whereas I
moment.
hopped in like immediately last time.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. The B win just bumped up to 20.
Yeah, inventory's got the same issues. I don't think it's server related. It's backend.
It's backend related.
It's Fizzle, I'm in.
This is Greg, I'm in.
Hold the elevator dodge. Don't you dare, don't you dare.
I'm not even there yet.
I don't care. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna slap you.
Yeah, do it. Do it well. I'll do it. Do it. Are you going to LA?
No.
No.
I was gonna say you can slap me where I'm wearing the helmet, and you can feel like what the chick did when she punched Master Chief in the face.
Master Chief's helmet is made of steel. Yours is plastic.
Not Master Chief. Bloody no, I confused the wrong one. Mass Effect.
Mass Effect. Oh yeah.
Shepard's. The Shepard punch, and Shepard's wearing a helmet. It's like, what the hell? What is this cutscene?
The back end is entirely down right now.
I am sitting at entities 87,000 and going up and down.
Okay. Should be.
My local isn't even loading, and I'm on an Aussie server. Yeah, the back end's just dead.
Yep.
If we can spawn a ship, good luck. If we can't, I think we should just give up at this point.
Yeah, we'll see if it can happen.
Because if I can't spawn a ship, we won't be able to spawn one because with my ping level, it's literally
instantaneous.
Yeah.
It was worth a shot, but we'll see.
Hey, at least we got a tour done. Yeah.
Yeah. It's to be expected, honestly, with Sundays, like the weekends. I think a lot of this stuff will get fixed over Monday and Tuesday, but the first weekend of Invictus is, or any event like IAE, is always hot garbage.
Ultra high volume.
Yeah. Hopefully they're getting a lot of information to fix it for 320, because I'd hate for this to be just basically Star Citizen 2023. Is just you can't access the back end and everything's garbage.
Is underscore working? Probably.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Damn it. Damn it, Dambless.
What?
Sure, I'm supposed to hold the lift for you, but you just fly off with the tram. I see.
I'm sorry, I can't control what the tram does. You know, getting this armor cost me a day of prison sentence.
Really?
Wow.
It's okay. There's a trick. There's a trick with the prison. If anyone wants to know, you get 1 minute for knocking out a NPC. 1 minute extra time. Almost every second NPC has a bag full of mining rocks in their bag, and it will knock off like half an hour of your time. So if you go through and knock everyone out, you can knock your prison sentence down pretty fast.
That's positive.
Until the server stops, until the server breaks, and then you can't actually look at the bags. That can also happen. Yeah, everyone's saying they can't spawn ships either.
Womp womp.
Yeah, it's just kind of not even.
Wah, wah, wah.
I'll see if I can spawn a ship, but looking at how everyone else is already sitting at the thing trying to spawn.
Mm-hmm. I'm not seeing any updates from CIG in terms of the news, though. There was a major disruption. Yeah.
At least the store page works.
Yeah, I can't even get. I'm not even getting the
right.
thing coming up.
All right. I think we're gonna give it up then.
Oh well.
All right.
Oh wait, there we go. Let's see if I can spawn.
Let's see if you can spawn. Yeah. Hold on.
I'll spawn something big, so just in case.
Mm-hmm.
Give it 20 seconds.
Yep, same thing.
I'm gonna say probably not at the rate.
Yep.
Oh wait, no, it's spawned.
Ooh.
Oh no, it's not the full spawn yet. It's a half spawn.
All right. It's all right. We'll try it again in the future. We'll try next weekend. We'll try to do some lore stuff. So.
Yeah. No.
Thanks, you guys.
Full red.
All right.
Thanks for the
Thanks,
third.
Paul.
Thanks,
No
Paul.
problem.
See you later.
Thank you.
We'll be back on Tuesday for more for another lore tour. We'll be talking about Anvil and such. But thank you for joining us here tonight at the Astro Pub. If you enjoyed yourself, hit that follow button, hit the subscribe button, like the video as well if you enjoyed this, and of course, I'll comment down below if you're watching this after the fact. Love y'all's faces. I will be back on Tuesday. I'll be trying to release the next Captain's Table on Monday, and then on Wednesday we'll be doing Pub and Plays. We're doing the new Starship Troopers game with Loken and a couple of people, so you can come join us live for that to check that out. And then Thursday we'll be doing a lore tour, and then the afterwards we'll do the office hours. So we've got this entire week, and we're actually going to be doing next Sunday. We'll be doing a subathon, hopefully. So you can join us for that and enjoy watching me dance a bunch. So, all right, y'all. Thank you for hanging out with us. And like I say every time, hope to see you someday in the black.